I wanted to watch an old episode of The Odd Couple as I was just enjoying my Saturday evening being a middle-aged black Christian young man when of course I saw this notification. Zion Williamson is in more trouble. I'm like, oh my God, I just did a video on the guy yesterday, and the video was called Zion Williamson's Worst Nightmare Has Just Come True. And as it seems, another nightmare happened, and it's actually with this lady by the name of Mariah Mills. Now, if you guys don't know, there's an unidentified young woman that's 24 years old who dated Zion Williamson from 2018 to 2023. And this young lady has alleged that Zion Williamson not only raped her, but abused her throughout the 5 years. And of course, she is seeking damages. But then there is another person who is also seeking damages. And well, her name is Mariah Mills. Now, if you guys didn't know, Mariah Mills is in the booty clapping industry. And because she's a booty clapper, you guys actually guessed the name of this video. Shout out to King Smitty H60 when he commented, Zion cheek clapping allegations are getting worse, because they are getting worse.
He's right, you know.
High five to you for guessing what I was gonna call this video. Now, Mariah Mills dealt with Zion Williamson for a long time, and she was definitely trying to extort him. Now, as you know, because this first allegation has come out, now Mariah Mills, who wants more money from Zion Williamson, just uploaded this video.
Everybody deserves a chance to be heard, and I hope me and any of the other victims, I just hope we all get justice. And the amount of bashing, humiliation, slander, and threats that I've been receiving these last 3 years have been a lot, and it's causing me a lot of stress, emotional distress, and I just hope we all can come to justice and this all can be resolved and nobody has to relive all these things ever again.
Now, there's also some rumors that Mariah Mills is reaching out to Tony Buzbee, who is a Houston-based attorney who's also helping Gabriella Zuniga take down Shannon Sharp. He was also vital in helping bring down Deshaun Watson. And of course, Zion Williamson would be another person that could also assist in this endeavor. And although Zion Williamson is in Louisiana and this didn't happen in Texas, there are reports that she wants Tony Buzbee to basically help her sue Zion Williamson. And let's talk about some of the issues with Tony Buzbee.
The way that this process works is normally something like this. They get approached by someone who is accusing someone else, normally high profile. The attorney then reaches out to that individual or their representation and try to negotiate a settlement, negotiate some funds to be exchanged to make sure that this all goes away. That is the ideal situation for the attorney, because once these sums are exchanged, the attorney normally gets anywhere between 30 and 40% of those sums. The rest goes to the accuser, and really, they don't have to do much work.
Shout out to Robert Littall, who owns Black Sports Online. It's a really, really good blog. And he's basically talking about how these attorneys want to do this. Now, it doesn't have to be Tony Buzbee or a white lawyer. There are even black lawyers who can do this. The strategy is the same. They're first trying to get the defendant, who is basically being accused of something, to say, listen, you need to go ahead and pay this certain amount of money. We won't put this, business out there and it'll go away. All right. So, you give me like $2 million or $5 million. I can get $1.5 million of that money, and it's easy work. I can give my client the $3.5 million, and then this goes away forever. But let's say, for example, you're like, hell no. I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to do that. You crazy as hell. I'm Zion Williamson. There is no way I'm going to pay that ish. Well, then this can happen.
The issue for Tony Buzbee is normally he's a man that works in the numbers game. And what I mean by that is that when he takes on a case, normally he tries to overwhelm it with accusers. You take the Travis Scott Astroworld lawsuit. He had, I think, over 150 clients for that. The Diddy situation. He has over 100 clients suing Diddy. Deshaun Watson, where most people were introduced to Tony Buzbee, he had over 20 plus accusers against Deshaun Watson. When you have so many clients and so many accusers, it's very difficult to vet them all. Is all 100 of their stories accurate? All 20, all 30, all 40 of their stories legit? Unlikely not. But it's very difficult to say when an individual has 20, 30, 40, 50 accusers that they all could be lies.
So the strategy that the attorney can use is say, hey, listen, let's go ahead and gather all of these people. And that's the same thing that happened with T.I. If you can remember, the attorney used that same strategy. So not only are we going to, basically just say the one lady that has the case, we can find other plaintiffs or other people bringing these charges. And then we can say, hey, now there's 20, now there's 30, now there's 100 people, okay, against you. And not only does that hurt you because all you need is one of them to be wrong, but it damages your brand. It damages everything that you've worked for and built up over the years. So it puts you under more pressure to negotiate. And that's exactly what happened with Deshaun Watson. Not only did it destroy his career in Houston, it really kind of affected his career, over time. He was never the same guy. And that's typically what they would like to do. And a lot of athletes that have money, they have seen what's going on with Deshaun Watson. They've seen what's happening to Shannon Sharpe. And instantly you get all of your brand deals dropped. If you guys can remember what happened with Sabrina Peterson, I believe, in T.I., was that basically they found all of these ladies and then T.I. lost everything. His podcast sponsorships he had, his VH1 reality show, it ended up being not true, but they can't refund you for the money that you would have earned at that time because the plaintiffs don't have it or the accusers don't have it. So then you're screwed. But in the case of Moriah Mills, she forgot something. She forgot her past posts. Sad music. I warned you about trapping, HOES, and you didn't listen to me. I know the game. F you and congrats again. The bill was too high, so you had to scrap for crumbs when you couldn't see me or I was busy. So if you guys also remember, she was like fake crying and that, but these are her old tweets, and shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for getting them right, all right? She gonna say this. Sad music. I was with you last week in New Orleans, and you couldn't tell me you had a random thought pregnant after all I've done for you. I really don't know how she's done anything for anybody. You're broke, but it's okay. She goes, I let you F me so many times out of condom, and this is what you do to me. A hood rat does that. You're putting my life in danger, effing all this HOES raw. I let you spit in my mouth last week when we effed. You could have told me you had another blank pregnant. How is that gonna work? Moving us both to New Orleans. You think I would have found out? She also says this, you let that HOE finesse you is why I'm angry. She's 29 with an adult child already. I know what comes with being a basketball player, girl. I know there would be other women, but didn't expect you to get these HOESs pregnant, okay? Better pray I'm not pregnant too because I'm definitely late. Then it wasn't just she was definitely late. She actually put up a fake pregnancy test, if you can see that right here. She also says, I'm in Atlanta, see me in December, or should I say at my new condo in New Orleans, Concrete Rose. That must be his baby mama. We sister wives now, get with her to get lost, but I'm gonna get more always, clown. He don't play about me when it comes to spoiling. I'm his princess, you a burnt out baby mom. So obviously this is not gonna look good for her. At the very least, if all of these ladies start coming out against Zion Williamson, it just makes him look like irresponsible. Brands are gonna look at him like, this is the kind of guy that I want to deal with. I know a lot of these players are not married and they're having kids, and trying to be the face of the NBA is changing because of what's happening in society, like Anthony Edwards. But yeah, this is exactly what you don't want to do. This is like career suicide. It creates a whole lot of stress, fans heckle you and everything. So let me just say this. If you're a guy that got money, you're a guy that's out there and people know about you, you really got to watch what you do when there are women involved. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy L. Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.